Okay, so you can see I finally got the Bridgestone CB1 back in the stand after like 6 months. Got this bike, 85-90% done. And then just sort of moved out of the way and start working on other stuff. And I love this bike, and I want to finish it. If I don't want to finish it, I want to finish it and ride it around. I don't want to finish it, I'm going to put it for sale and move it someplace else, and who knows. I'm going to finish it, and I have to finish it, and I have to get it out of the way. So I can get back to the nothing special Schwinn and whatnot, but instead, I'm going to show you a sweet day I had at Goodwill yesterday. Went to the bins and scored a bunch of stuff. And I'm also going to do a tear down on another bike I bought that was too cheap that I just bought for parts. Maybe I can resell the frame for what I paid for the whole bike, so I'm hoping. So let's do that. So today I had kind of a fire day at the Goodwill bins. So I figured I'd show off my score a little bit because it's always fun. So the first thing I found was this. It's a Blackburn Portour rack. So you could use this as the front, or maybe it's really designed to be a rear. I have to Google it. Almost looks like it's got a grill top on it. Oh, it's got a bottle opener. That's pretty cool. Then I found this absolutely brand new Ortlieb front pannier. It looks like it's never been used. Had anything in it. There's no witness marks that anything's ever touched the little frame things. Brand new or so lightly used you can't even tell. Found a brand new old stock tubular, which I don't care about, but yeah, I mean, it's a good Continental. Someone will care $10 worth, I'm sure. Some cool brand new wool gloves that I have a friend who I think, my friend Matilda, my intern, we did her bike last week, or 2 weeks ago. I think maybe she'll really dig them. Just have to sit on them for a year. A cool, I don't really look at clothes, I try not to. Who knows what I'll sell and what won't, but cool motorcycles, Keep Out brand, vintage, like from the 60s or 70s, like plaid wool shirt kind of thing. Thought this was kind of cool. We'll see. Brand new set of Bike Gallery Smart Wool Sock Guy socks. So this is the last thing I found, like an uncut on one bar. This is like a hot thing for a while in the 2000s, and like a stem that's probably kind of cool to somebody. Couldn't pass it up. An old Zafal Velcro frame pumpy bracket thing. These are cool. I'm putting one of these on the Nothing Special Schwinn, so I think I'd probably use this on that. That's exciting. A brand new set of all black generic quick release skewers. Same thing, 10 or 15 bucks for those. I mean, I found these chain rings all in the same bin. I'm sure if they're off the same cranks, it's about a 110 74 and like their SR brand. But this one's a 44 tooth. Finding that good stuff right in the middle is awesome. And I think the other one's like a something good too. The teeth don't even look too bad. At 42, yeah, 42, 44, 30, like whatevs. And then randomly I found all these seats in different places. I found some dead bike stuff too I didn't grab, but like this seat looks like a takeoff. It looks like brand new. It's nothing cool, I guess, Norco, but it's a good bike seat. It's got some green on it. This one's got full carbon rails. It's really light. It's in good shape. It was probably very expensive when it was new. I have no idea what it is. Some generic carbon-y thing. But something I think of cool. This thing, Cruise Plus Reflex Zone. It's still narrow, roady, vinyl-y velo seat. Nothing special or fancy or light, but in perfect shape and great for wet weather. Another all-city saddle. I just got $15 for another one of these the other day. So, it's cool. People like junk. Another under-seat bag. I thought I'd stop caring about these, but people keep buying these vintage under-seat bags on eBay. There's several big trunk bags for the top of a rack, but no one seems to care, so I didn't get those. And this is a magnet. So I'm excited about this for the back of my truck. I have one of those student drivers on the back right now, but that's pretty fun too. Oh, I found one other thing at the bins, which is this custom handmade bike storage rack. So you go out to your wall and you can set your bike in there. I just found about these 2 days earlier. I went to visit my friend David Bailey, and he had one of these custom made for his custom Norther. And then that's not the way his bike room works. So he finally, after storing it for years, decided to donate it to me. And then I found another matching one at the bins. It's a little shorter, but super cool and nerdy. But yeah, a pretty nice score at the bins. It was $40 for all this stuff. But now I just got to list all this on the eBay. and finish up cleaning up this pile of forks and parts and things off a bike I stripped and some other junk I got. Put that up on the eBay. Got a few new wheels I got to put up on Craigslist and figure out. So this poor bike is a red line a fella got at a garage sale and said he rode it for a while and didn't really take very good care of it. And they've been trying to sell it for way too much money for like a year and a half. They finally kept lowering the price, and then I lowballed them even further. It's a little red line, whatever, some dumb numbers on it, 925, 44 centimeter single speed of track frame. Maybe someone will think this is cool. This front wheel actually feels kind of concavey. He said he got it new recently. The back wheel feels fine. It's got the redline hub. Chain's all loose. Brakes are all out of whack. It really needs a full overhaul. But you know, it's got a cool little bash guard on it and some black single speed cranks and, well, really double cranks. Totally smashed in, dented up pedal. How'd that even happen? So yeah, let's pull this thing apart and see what we can see. First thing I'm going to do is get rid of this really stupid chain guard, because one, it doesn't fit at all, and two, it's all loose and broken. It's got a zip tie on it. I don't know what people are thinking of this kind of stuff. Zip tie it on. Totally cool. Really the first step in anything is to cut the old cables. Do the old chain check and see if it's, it looks really clean and nice. It's not even dead. It's like, maybe even worth saving. Oh wow, look at that. Track end tensioner is jammed up and then the frame all crooked. Super cool. Its brake pad's like 3/4 way falling out of the holder. This is good stuff. Hopefully we can save this back wheel, because for some reason I'm collecting tons and tons of junk single speed wheels for a project, and I'm just out of control and they have like 10. Cool. I think this back hub is branded Redline, but you know, it's the same hub as Originate and all that other stuff. Oh, the front hub's branded Originate, so it's really the same hub. Bottom bracket check. I'm pushing this way, see if there's any play in that bottom bracket. And there's not, so that seal cartridge seems good, even though the poor rings are so bashed. I'm going to have to do a crank straightener line if we use this. Or shorty cranks, 165s. Maybe they'd be good for this red line. You can't get one side loose, do the other. Move this up and put it, the handlebars under my shoulder, so give my body some sort of stop. Yeah, there we go. Like no grease on these threads, but at least they're not frozen, coming right out. Always grease the shit out of your threads. It's pretty important. There's some nice medium-y reach silver brakes. It's generic whatever, but you know, they're silver and free. Medium-y reach. So pretty good on like a 27-inch conversion. Maybe these will be the brakes for the Nothing Special Schwinn. So now I have a few pairs of silver, you know, dual pivot style. Why not switch to those instead of leaving the really, really crappy stock brakes? Barrel adjuster turns, missing the double O-ring, that's no big deal. You get that at a hardware store for pennies. Just a little surface rust on the spring. The nut is kind of rusty, but I got lots of nuts, so that doesn't really matter. Pad holders are all adjustable, and you can swap the pads out. But yeah, look at this pad. Nice job, brakes. It does have the O-ring, as you can see, just a little rubber O-ring for no reason. And this front's pretty nice. Oh, I think that was the O-ring. I think I just saw it fall off right into the trash. Should I waste a bunch of time digging through this trash for one crappy little 5-cent O-ring? I might. Ta-da! So Redline's broken down. I left the dumb little Redline stem on it, and the headset, and the little seat collar. Because you know, why not? Gives the next person a step up. The bike came apart really nice, no problems. And some little measurements. I'm going to try and put it up for sale, so if anyone cares, they probably won't. Probably donate a bike for them. It had one other funny thing. It had a 27.0 seat post stuffed in it for some reason. Cannot stress enough. Reverse pliers, you squeeze them and they pinch open. These are perfect. You see the little seat post slot, the little pinchy, you can just go, meep, get a little squeeze, and all of a sudden the right size seat post fits in. People are always over tightening seat posts that are too small, and they're like, oh, it's supposed to be the right size. Don't wreck your frame, don't run the wrong size seat post. And I keep some common sizes so I can test fit them after I open them up. So I shove a 27.2 all the way up and down, fit perfect. 44 centimeters, the 50 top tube, that's actually pretty good. A lot of little bikes like 53 top tubes. It's ridiculous. A little 60 millimeter stem. This will be cool for someone short who wants to be crushy. It's got real fender eyelets and rack eyelets, and can fit like at least 32s, maybe 35C tires, so kind of a cool city commuter bar bike. I mean, it's no more heavy than a Surly, and probably no less crappy of tubes or welds. But for some reason, Surly single speed frames are worth like $500, and everything else is worth like $20. Now we're gonna put the old Bridgestone back in here, be right back to where we started, no progress, plus a couple other wheels in my pile of wheels I have to get to. Now you can see I dumped these wheels into my pile of wheels. So all the ones in the back here are all ones that are round and true. I just need to clean and do the overhaul on the hubs. These ones I haven't checked. These ones, more back there. Barely close my door, walk into my room. And all this is for one bike. So that's what's really crazy. Plus it's got a set of wheels on it right now. I got to figure out what's actually going on and what I can sell. Oh boy. Hours and hours and hours last night and today. Cleaning up. Here's my dirty parts bin to my clean parts bin. All the things soaked and scrubbed and lubed and moving freely. Had to take this derailleur apart to even get the old rusted chain out. But then it all came right apart and cleaned up and re-lubed the pulleys, and pretty okay. These are, the spare parts off builds I've been doing, and some cheap builds I bought just for parts. And then I've been playing, I just got like this weird like dog truck mat or whatever, so I can just sort of sit here and spray stuff, and got some scrub brushes and some wrenches to pull stuff apart and clean. Here's some 7-speed RX100 shifters. And the right one works just fine. But I sprayed in a bunch of silicone spray lube, because I hear that works just as well as the old T9 and stuff. The left ones on old shifters barely ever work, because no one ever shifts the front derailleur on an old road bike. People put in the easiest gear just riding that, because the big ring on old road bikes is for 20-year-old pro athletes who are like 145 pounds of solid muscle. So I sprayed the crap out of these, just filling it up in here and everywhere I could get it in. You hear that? And they're back. Filling it up, spraying it 2 or 3 times last night, and letting it soak overnight, and the shifters have all their clicks again. Really, half the time the shifters are dead. That's all it is, just the old grease being dried up, not like them actually being broken or anything. People throw them away all the time, and don't throw away old stuff they don't make anymore. These are cool. Old RX100. Get clean! Get clean! This is just an old hoodie that was falling apart that I didn't like, so I made it into a rag. A lot of the cheap red rags is leave red lint all over everything. Not pretty or fun. And into the clean pile for future projects for eBay. I broke, not working, so I'm literally just trying to sell everything. But I can't stop buying things, but it kind of works out if I make money on stuff, which sometimes I do. Sometimes I do not. Got thousands of dollars tied up in bikes and parts, and some of them I cannot sell, and some of them I lose money on, but some of them I make a bunch of money on, and it's fine. And it's all bike parts, so it's all cheap anyway, so it's, who cares if I pay 50 cents for something and get $10? It's great for me, but, you know, the $10 thing is really worth 20 to 40, then it's great for everybody. These are the wheels I got off of that Redline that just broke down. The first thing you do is Check the hub, make sure it feels smooth, not all gritty and totally destroyed already, because why bother doing anything to a wheel that's got a completely unserviceable hub? If something's a little tight or a little dry feeling, sometimes you can clean it and add grease. But sometimes the bearing surfaces are going to be chewed to pieces or totally destroyed, and there is no point. And already, I can tell that this wheel is really close to being perfectly true. I mean, technically it's acceptable where it's at. Yeah, that's way within the 2 or 3 millimeters of tolerance. All the spokes feel tight. Nothing feels crazy too tight or crazy too loose. True, the other side just a little bit. Looks like I might have one little tiniest, still totally in tolerance, but like make it slightly better, why not? Yeah, so this front wheel is good. It's not like rim worn, but it's got a little bit of cupping on the rim. It's like a little bit, so it's like a little bit concave instead of totally flat. And that is often from really old, really hard brake pads and maybe a crappy brake lever without a lot of leverage, so people are squeezing way too hard. Sometimes people see rims like, oh, that rim's totally dead, and you're like, it's not actually dead, it's just a little dented. I've definitely had some experience with that with some rims, because I really like silver rims, and it's hard to find expensive high-quality silver things, and often expensive high-quality silver things are really thin aluminum and really overly machined and pre-worn out. Basically, machined rims are pre-worn out. So on my personal bikes, I try and buy non-machined rims, which are more likely to squeal or be weird or whatever at first, but they'll last a lot longer. A lot of times really high-end rims, wheel builders they like it because it's so soft, it builds easy, they get them round and true. They last a long time or resist getting dents or whatever. So a lot of wheels wear out really fast from V-brakes, and a lot of mechanics got used to that, so if it wears out really fast for it, oh yeah, you only get like a year out of a wheel. Like, no, you can get a lot of years. There's a lot of old 80s wheels that have been in service the whole time that are 20, 30, 40, 50 years old and still totally fine. There's a lot of really modern rims that, you cannot get a year out of. Even if you wipe them down regularly, even if you clean your brake pads, because all this dirt and grime and road grit, that's just liquid sandpaper. It's destroying your rim. So whatever you do, take a clean rag or paper towel and wipe them off once in a while, especially in the winter. I had a friend do an experiment where he had a brand new set of wheels built after destroying his wheels in 1 year with whatever the fancy thing was. Oh, the Pacentes. The fancy thing. So built them with the Pacentes, and as an experiment, after that in 1 year, he did a lot of rando ride. This kid did 1,200K a month. He constantly wiped down his front and never wiped his rear, and his front lasted 3 years, and his rear had to be replaced in 1 year. So, 30 extra seconds once a week or once a month will save you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. His back is perfectly true. This is fine. I can put my spoke tensiometer on here and play with it, but this thing's round and true and used and in really good shape. It's like almost brand new. The brake's never been used on it. So I'm going to say, this guy's ready to party. I need to build some single speeds, man. This came on a dead frame the other day that was missing the front wheel. It's an old RX 100 7-speed. Hub feels nice. It is really dirty and crusty, but the hub feels nice. Spoke nipples look a little corroded. It's a real Hyperglide, so it's a regular cassette lock ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 speeds, so you can only run 7. You can't do 8, 9, 10. Yeah, this thing's borderline round and true. I'm gonna drop a little lube on all these spoke nipples and on the bottom where it meets the rim, so it'll go down and get under the spoke head. And I'm gonna put a wrench on every one of these and give it a twist. Make sure these spokes are not frozen in place. I'm not selling wheels that aren't serviceable. You can't round and true as you need to. Give that guy a spin. So I'm going to do that with all these wheels, and I'm going to get them ready for cleaning and truing, and then, cleaning and hub overhauling, and then maybe I'll do a few of those too, but it's also really sunny and nice out, so that might not be this video. I'm going to go list a bunch of the stuff on eBay, and let my dog play in the yard in the sun. It was a beautiful sunny day, even though the clouds have kind of come out and it's calmed down a little bit, so I spent the day outside cleaning and listing all these parts on eBay, except for this weird bottom bracket. It's mismatched in parts. And these brakes that might work great on the Nothing Special Schwinn. And this black stem that might be the stem I want to use on the Bridgestone 400 project if I go cruiser bars. So they'll wait. The rest of the parts off of today's teardown and a couple other teardowns I've done recently all made it into this bin and are listed on eBay. I just got to do one more set of old crusty brake levers off the Trek touring bike we're going to do into a little rando bike. That'll be a few projects down the line. And in case you're wondering, I did go dig through the trash and recycling and separate it out and find that missing O-ring because I'm a cheap ass. And these brakes really might look good on the Nothing Special Schwinn. Oh. And the Bridgestone is back in the stand. All is right with the world, or back to being wrong with the world, because I still need to finish this guy. Hey Scout, want to say hi? Hi, yes, I love you, hi. Hi. Say hi, oh yes. So all is back to being right with the world. Maybe I'll finish editing this video tomorrow and finish this Bridgestone the day after. Get it up for sale on Craigslist and get it over to my friend Lindsay's basement. So, thanks for watching.